Welcome, everyone. I'm extremely excited to interview an act that is going to take part. And now you're going to have to help me with the pronunciation too, because we always say PZE, but it's Pesma za Eurovisi. How do you pronounce that?
You were very close. You just had to finish. Pesma za Evroviziju.
Pesma za Eurovisiu.
We have to give it the V. Evroviziju.
Eurovisiu.
Yeah, perfect.
Pesma za Eurovisiu. Okay, welcome very much, Luka Anrajelovic.
Aranjelovic, yeah, that was.
Aranjelovic.
Yeah.
Aranjelovic, who is the vocalist of Lavina. Thank you very much for accepting this interview. It's an honor to talk to you.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so first of all, I would like you to talk a little bit about the band. How was it created? I know this is not your first band, right? You were in another band called The Void as a vocalist, and now you are with Lavina, right? So how was the band created? Was this your idea? Was someone else's idea, and then you started to take part in the project?
That's an interesting question and a very fun one to answer. I think it's best to start from the beginning. The guitarist of Lavina, Andrea, and
Hmm.
we're childhood friends from
Hmm.
like the first grade, from 7 years old. And ever since we were little, we had this fascination with the heavier genres, the hard rock, metal, whatnot, and we stayed friends, obviously. Like in eighth grade, that's 14 years old, we started making our own, groups, bands, and the Void was one of them. We're a little embarrassed by it at this point because it's one of our first projects. We were still so young. I mean, we're still young.
But super young, very young.
We were super young, and we were still experimenting, learning our instruments, learning composition. So yeah, the Void was the first project we officially had something with. um, we were we look upon that period fondly, even though we don't think it's our best work, obviously, because it's the beginning. But we learned a lot. We connected with people, the first steps. From there, we kind of, did that for a few years. We played in our hometown in Niš. We had other projects in between as well. We were in high school, messing around, playing, going to gigs. The classic, adolescent grunge hard rock lifestyle. After that, we had a little break when we got into college. So we had a pause for like 2 or 3 years, and a little bit after that, we created Lavina around the same members that were in Void. A lot of them left though before Lavina actually got our debut. So Andrea and I were like in the story from the beginning, and everyone else sort of came together. Pavle, the guitarist, was Andrea's colleague in his. They were studying architecture, so he got into the band. My brother, he's the keyboardist and the other singer, Pavle. I invited him. He was, I don't know, he's 4 years younger, so about that time he was, starting to. Uh, he was mature enough to be able to, do some things with us. So I invited him. Not that I think that he wasn't mature before, but I think we. I was a bit. Can I curse?
No, yeah, yeah, please.
I was a bit of an asshole to him when I was younger. I wasn't the best brother when I was 16, 17. I'm sorry. But yeah, when we got a bit older, he was 18, I think. He got into the band too. We had some other members joining, leaving, and now we're the same since we have been since, I don't know, 2020, when we started writing the first album. 2022 is when we actually made a debut, and
Mhm.
from there, from that time, we have been actually active 2022, I would say, that when we released the first album.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
that,
so
yeah.
so how was the? I was going to ask actually about this album. Like, I think there's something that I would like to ask before, because when it comes to rock, especially for Eurovision fans, because I listen to rock, but most of the Eurovision fans don't like sometimes for some of us, it's some sort of alien genre when it comes to the Eurovision context. So many people say, oh, it's a rock band, but it's not just rock, right?
Absolutely.
There is something beyond that. And yeah, I see that you guys are quite related to metal, but I also see you guys having a very specific progressive rock
Yeah, yeah.
identity in your music. So how would you define your genre, if that's even possible?
Well, I would say there's this new wave of metal music in the past 10 years. We call it something like modern metal. You
Hmm.
can even call it progressive because metal today, the modern metal part, it flirts with a lot of different genres, and we think that's very cool. And we think that that flirtation, that mix with the other genres is what's bringing new audiences to listen to the heavier sound. And that's what we're trying to do with our music, because we listen to a big or large variety of different styles and genres, all of us. We love pop, we love rock, we love R&B, we love hip hop, and we try to blend all those genres together to make this progressive modern sound that's true to us, but that can also be accessible by someone who maybe isn't into metal.
Hmm.
And I would have to disagree with you. I think in the probably in the past five or so years, maybe even further, I think there's always been at least a few metal acts or hard rock acts on Eurovision, and I think that almost universally, almost all of them had a very good reception. And even if they weren't strictly heavy music, just like pure metal, there were a lot of performances that incorporated heavier sounds. Like you have Karya, perfect example. You have Baby Lasagna. You have even Maneskin, who won. So I think metal absolutely deserves a place and a spotlight on Eurovision, and hopefully this year we will be the ones representing that.
Look, no, don't get me wrong. I'm totally pro rock. I think that
No, no, yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Every time there's a rock band in Eurovision, like Hungary 2018 was my favorite. Like I always
Yeah.
excited when there is rock music in Eurovision. But the thing is that the communities still tend to lean. I'm not talking about the voters. I'm talking about the
Okay.
Eurovision fan, the commuters, that they lean towards more pop music. And sometimes when rock comes, they feel, you know. But
Okay.
something that should be stressed is that your song, "Kraj, mene,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
"Kraj, mene," it was actually quite well received, right? So how is this experience? Because there are many Eurovision fans, those especially those that are more used to listening to rock to pop music, they are excited about a song that is a metal rock song, right? So how is this experience? Like, how was the reception?
Well, actually, like I said in a few interviews, we're very overwhelmed with the positive
Mm.
reactions. We were expecting some of the people to like it, but we weren't expecting this. And it's it's not strictly metal, It's not really metal. It's a lot of it is pop. It's basically a pop song that's heavy at times, emotional, has cool beats, cool transitions, and I think people can appreciate that. So we didn't really like come into the fold screaming and yelling and like uh, all of the 3 minutes. There's a lot of
Mhm.
layers and a lot of depth to
Exactly.
the song that I think a lot of people can appreciate. And to me, even though it's overwhelming, it's kind of logical because we put a lot of thought in the lyrics, and I think the people can appreciate the lyrics. We put a lot of thought into the melody. People can appreciate the melody.
Exactly.
Whatever they listen to, they can appreciate a good hook, a good rhythm, and there's a bit of an adjustment period, we would say, in the middle of the song. So when the screaming starts and the actual heaviness hits, that's where we think people are most divided. So if you listen to the screaming part, you're either going to be, oh, I like this. This is pretty cool. Or you're going to be, oh, I don't know, this isn't for me. So we do get some of that, but I think we managed to find the sweet spot between metal and pop so that a lot of people can appreciate it even though they don't listen to metal. If that answers the question.
It totally does. And actually, it came to my mind now a question that was not in the schedule, which is about the melody. Like, this is something that has been missing, like in music, like nowadays, right? It feels like the beats are more important than the melody itself. So people are more focusing on making a song that has a resemblance or of something else, or just has these beats that kind of go with some sort of lyrics, but they don't have like this melody that's memorable. And your song is memorable, all right? And
Thank you.
like I would like you to actually, because this is something that I keep talking to a couple of friends all the time. We do have a lot of people doing music in Eurovision, but we don't have a lot of musicians, right? So this is, yeah, like, come on, like it doesn't mean that it's good or
No,
bad.
no,
It's
I can
just,
understand you.
well, it's just how it is. Like, of course,
Yeah.
like we always like to go to a nice restaurant, but we also like to go to McDonald's and have a hamburger, right? So it's there are all kinds of stuff, and everything can be appreciated. But I would like you to talk a little bit more about how did you become a musician, right? And how was your background? Did you have some formal education? And especially when it comes to the melody, why did you think, okay, I want to focus on the melody and I want to make something that people can actually remember and feel connected to?
Before I start going deeper into my history, I would like to connect with your question. I think there is an emphasis on the beat
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, but I think there's also a lot of emphasis on catchy melodies. I
Mm-hmm.
think the beat is, from a writing perspective, everybody can feel the beat. Like there's no human alive that won't react to boom 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 boom. Yeah, when you hear that, you bob your head. You have a heartbeat. You need a sense of rhythm. For a melody, I think it's also very important. It's important for a melody to be catchy, to instantly stick in your ear, but you can't miss the beat. So I think that's why people are more focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that when writing a song, you need to understand what you're putting an emphasis on. So if I want the beat to be primary here, I'm not gonna make something incredibly large and distracting for the melody. I'm gonna focus on the beat for this part of the song. So I have the beat here, and then the next part can be melodic. So I think it's about what you want in a song, and I think both the melody and the beat can and are especially important equally. You just have to pick one, I think, in a certain type of a song or a part of a song. And as for me, I grew up in a musical family. My mother was a
Mm.
piano teacher at university, so I basically been born into that. I played piano when I was young. I went to elementary and high music school, and I have a master's in classical guitar. I am a guitar teacher here in Serbia in a school. I teach kids. And so to me, melodies have always been very important, even in classical music. uh, when you listen to something, when it sticks in your head, and whenever I write choruses, whenever I write anything, basically I need to make sure that it's memorable. I need to make sure that it's there. It has character. It has something to be remembered by. But also, later I will, think about the beat, obviously. And I think, for example, in this song, we have the verses that are very beat oriented. You have,
Mm-hmm.
the first verse is
Mm-hmm.
singing, is like basically whispering, expressive, but you have that boom, 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 boom. And then the chorus explodes into a melody. It still has the beat, but the melody is there. So maybe I went a bit overboard with my answer, but I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I totally understand. It was pretty nice learning a bit more about your background.
Thank you.
And but like now let's talk about Odyssey, which is the first album that you guys released. How was the process of developing this album? How was the process of cooperating with everyone?
It was difficult actually. It took us a long time to write those songs. We were still learning. We had a lot to learn. Recording, writing, whatever. We were The process was like we were practicing in a room together. Someone would bring something like a guitar riff or a drum fill or something, and from that we would assemble a whole song. I would add lyrics to it afterwards. So we built it together, but it took
Mm,
us it took us a long time, a lot of trial and error. But I think it was for the best, probably, because if we didn't take our time, if we rushed it, I don't think we would have been satisfied with the end result.
mm,
And I think we learned a lot through the writing and recording of that album.
mm. Yeah, and it's actually a very good album. Like it feels quite complex, even though
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
gonna be honest, even though I listen to progressive rock, I'm not a big fan of long songs. Like I'm not a big fan. I prefer, like, for me the songs usually must have like 4 minutes. But your music, like it just feels like it needed to be that long. It makes sense,
Oh,
right?
well, you know, your music taste as a person, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
We had a different music taste back then. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, six maybe, when we started writing it. So back then we were like, yeah, we like long songs, we like proggy things, we like. Right now we're a bit different. We're more oriented on writing a compact, neatly written song. I'm not gonna say Odyssey is a bad album, but I definitely think, from a songwriting perspective,
You make
we
something different nowadays.
we would have, if I were to go back in time right now, I would have cut some things off, because right now we
Mhm.
feel like some songs maybe have a little bit too much.
Hmm. You think so?
And that can be interesting, but like I said, it's all about your preference.
Hmm.
It's all about what you like at the moment, and that's the way we think. We're not gonna write the same music in 5 years as we do now. So we're always gonna be progressing. We're gonna try different things, and I think that's what it should be like. You shouldn't be writing the same things, your whole life.
But I was actually going to ask you exactly about that,
Yeah.
because this is like when we are preparing for the interviews, we of course we read the information that we find online about you guys, but we need to listen to your music like in different moments, and like the album is a bit different from your most recent song,
Oh, it's a lot.
besides,
Very different.
yeah,
It's
which
very
is This Too Shall Pass. I would say that this song is more similar to your PZE
Yeah.
entry, you know? So I was actually going to ask, it was written here, like, how would you say your style has changed throughout the years that you've been working the band?
Well, like I said, I think our focus has shifted from writing complex rhythms, riffs, and music to writing something more accessible,
Mm-hmm.
but more compact. So it's a different challenge. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
different challenge. Um, it's very challenging to write a neatly written song like that has no filler, like that is, like, I'm gonna say the word compact again. It wastes no time. We think Kraj, mene wastes no time. It's like all of the parts are there for a reason. and they serve a purpose, and you can't take them out or get them back in. They're like, the song is, a nice, neat little composition. So that's the biggest shift from going from experimental music to something more accessible, more commercial. And we don't think it's a point of us selling out or something, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a very different challenge. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of artists would benefit uh, from the idea of trying to make something that a lot of people could listen to. It's
Mm-hmm.
very simple to write something that only you will enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a whole different monster, a whole different difficulty to write something that you will enjoy, but somebody else who doesn't listen to this type of music will too. So that's what we're trying to do with our new material as well. We have an album coming, and
Excellent.
it's nice of you to notice the similarities between This Too Will Pass and Kraj Mene. This is the sort of format we will be chasing in the album with the other songs. There's going to be experimentation. A lot of the songs are going to have different vibes in between each other, but they're going to be neat and tight and compact. That's what we're going for.
Now that would be very interesting because like we tend to listen to very long progressive rock songs like Dream Theater or Von
Yeah.
Hudson Brothers or Pain of Salvation, like all these
Oh, I
bands that have.
love those. I absolutely love those. But they're like, I can't even compare our music to theirs. The Dream
Mhm.
Theater, they're like geniuses. And
Mhm.
I feel like Odyssey is, we needed more skill in that period of
No.
time. We needed to be more technically advanced. We needed to know our instruments better. Uh, so we made a compromise. We're like, okay, we can't play, so let's just make easier music. Let's just write simpler music. I'm kidding. I remember the guys were like, this coronation song from the first album. There's like so many riffs and it's fast and now and the guys are complaining, Luca, this is too complicated. You wrote some riffs we can't play this live. It's so frustrating. I mean, we do play it live, but it's frustrating. It's difficult. And now I'm writing like dun 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 dun, and now they're complaining, bro, we're not playing anything. Come on, what is this? So it's yeah, we want to find the middle ground. We want the technical aspect to be there, but to also be simple and easy to play and listen to. I think Dream Theater, we love Dream Theater. I love Dream Theater, but it's not very accessible.
No, at all, not at all. But
It's
they do have their group, like their fans, like they have,
absolutely,
yeah. But
yeah.
it's just not very.
It
It's not
takes
very.
time. It
It
takes
takes.
time. You need to sit down and listen to the music and listen to the instruments, and you can appreciate the song a lot, like when you
Mm.
sit down. But people, I nowadays I don't think people do that very often.
Mm.
I
Yeah, I
think you
remember.
have, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think you have as an artist today, I think you have a very limited time to capture someone's attention. Like you have to be very very precise, and like you have maybe a minute before someone switches the song off, so you need to grab them and hold them.
I totally agree with you. And I remember that I got to know doing theater when I was a kid, like at school. My friends used to listen to Dream Theater and they would share the songs, and then we would have those very tiny MP3 players and we would
Yeah,
listen to those songs. There was no cell phones back then. It was
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very hard to send music to each other, and we did listen to that, but it's still nowadays like I'm not very into Dream Theater. I do like them, but I'm more like Pain of Salvation, Von
Yeah,
Hudson
yeah,
Brothers.
I like Pain of Salvation too. Yeah, they're nice. I'm a big prog head. Like I used to
Hmm.
be. I'm a bit different now, as you can hear from Odyssey.
Hmm. They Pain of Salvation tried to go to Eurovision,
Oh,
representing Sweden. Yeah, they did. They did.
that's
What
nice.
was what was the name of the song? Road Salt.
Oh, I will listen to it later. Yeah.
Very nice song. Okay, so why did you decide to take part in an Eurovision selection, right? Because it, even though your style has been shifting and you're now producing more compact music, it's still a bit because like
It is, yeah,
Serbia, yeah,
it is.
because Serbia doesn't have this tradition of rock bands in the selection. I do remember you guys had Negative. I'm not sure if this is the right pronunciation.
Yeah,
Negative,
it
the
is.
band,
It
yeah.
is.
What was the name of the vocalist? Ivana Peters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Was Ivana Peters, right? You got. I think they tried a couple of times to go to Eurovision, but like we do not see a lot of rock bands
Absolutely,
in
yeah.
Serbia. So why did you say, okay, maybe this would be a nice way for us to reach a different audience or us to experience something different when it comes to our music?
It's both of those things you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So Serbia has a lot of cool bands, a lot of cool metal and rock bands, and has had. But the scene in Serbia regarding heavier music is pretty dead, and there is no, there is no alternative culture representation, and we would really like to maybe influence a positive change with our performance regarding that. Um, we think Europe has a much better metal scene. We've played Europe a lot. Um, and what we're trying to do with this performance is both raise awareness for metal in Serbia, obviously represent our band, have people listen to us, and hopefully reach Eurovision, because as a metal act from Serbia, I think that is maybe the only path you can take towards building a career as a musician. Because, like I said, Serbia is very difficult when it comes to heavier music. But if we were to reach Eurovision, people would notice us. We could sign a contract with a label and start our career from there. Because none of us are really living from this. We all have 9 to 5 jobs. We're really struggling to juggle those things, and what we really want from this is an opportunity to be able to make a career out of this band and play the music that we love and live and eat from it. So it's there's a lot of reasons why we applied and why we benefit right now from this contest. Exposure, representation of alternative culture and music, a chance to make a career from this band. All of those things are an amazing bonus for us. We're very not to be ungrateful. We are very happy with how the song has been received
Mm-hmm.
and the overwhelming support we're getting from people. Uh, People actually listening, noticing our music. That's probably the best thing ever. Your art being appreciated. But all of the other things would be an amazing bonus for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like every artist, like I said before, like every artist, we wanna play our music and make a living from it.
There is a comment here from JF. He's saying, "Good evening to both. I hope everyone is fine. Luca or Bella Lavina is my personal favorite for Serbia. I wish you success."
Oh, thank you, JF. Good evening.
Luca, let me ask you something. Would you guys consider, because most of your music is in English, would you consider translating Kraj, mene into English if you eventually win the selection? Or maybe just would you perform it in English in Eurovision, or would you rather perform it in Serbian, or just have another version in English so people could listen to it?
The original is in English, actually.
Mm.
Since it's a part of the album that we have
Mhm.
ready. It's in English. The album is in English. I'm kind of used to writing in English. I've
Mhm.
been doing that for most of my life. So it was a challenge to translate it to Serbian, because the rules in Pesma's Evroviziju dictate that this song needs to be 50% Serbian at least. So we translated it. And if we were, when we win, manifesting, uh, I think the most logical choice would be to revert it back to the original lyrics, which are in English.
You know, this is a very sensible thing when it comes to the Eurovision Song Contest, right? Because sometimes when they translate, the song is not like what people expect.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Well, that's what I'm afraid of right now. That's a very good observation you made, because we like the Serbian version a lot too. Right now, we are happy with
mhm,
how it turned out, and I
mhm,
think people in Serbia are very connected to the Serbian lyrics now.
mhm,
So even though a lot of people are saying it would be good in English, a lot of fans are saying it would be great to have it in English too. I think that there would still be a bit of a backlash if we
mhm.
were to trans. So I'm like 70% sure we will translate it into English if we are to go to Eurovision, but
Mm.
there's still time to think on that.
Yeah, because we do have a couple of moments. Like I think that Albania in 2010 they did translate, and the English version was better.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Slovenia in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I do prefer the version in Slovenian, but the version most of people like it more the version in English. But I think we it can go either way. Like we never know.
The thing is, I'm sorry to jump in.
Please.
This song is very, the lyrics are very important. It's like
Hmm.
the song is 80% lyrics, and we think that the best way for European audiences to really appreciate the song is for them to be able to understand it.
Excellent.
So from that standpoint, we think it would be a smart idea to translate it, but
Hmm.
like that's all hypothetical.
Hmm.
I don't want to jinx anything, you know.
Hmm.
I'm just saying hypothetically, the theme of the song is needs to the song needs to be. It's not like it's not cha 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 cha. Everyone can understand that, you know. It's a universal language. Kraj mene has lyrics that need to be understood to be able to be felt and to be connected to the song.
Hmm. Okay, can you just give us just a couple of descriptions when it comes to the lyrics? What could you say at this point, like without jinxing it or without giving too much
for the
spoilers, but
for the
just
English version.
yeah, maybe some details about the English version.
No, it's the themes are the same. I
Mhm.
made the theme because it's very important. I just um, how do I say it? What's the word? I just packaged it differently so that it would make sense in Serbian. But the theme is the same in Serbian that it is in English, and that is disconnection between something you love and feeling abandoned and betrayed and angry and left behind. Those are probably the themes that best describe the song. It has this context of faith as well. I was in a bit of a dark place when I wrote it. I would say it in regards to my faith in my music, the band, and I felt like maybe music had left me behind. You know,
Mhm.
uh, like I was giving a lot, and the more I gave, the less it, gave back, which is the translation of the chorus that goes "Što
Mhm.
više dajem, manje želiš me." That is basically the more I give, the less you want me. So there's a little hint.
Okay, okay. So now this is another very controversial subject, which is the performance.
Oh yeah.
Every time we have an act that we really like in Eurovision, we wonder, can they perform it live vocally? I have seen your performance. You can perform it vocally, that's for sure. But what do you think about the staging? Because this is like the biggest issue when it comes to Eurovision. And I've seen some comments on your YouTube video, and some people are even suggesting you guys, oh, they should perform without the instruments. Like they should just be there. People are saying that. And like the performance of Pain of Salvation in Melody Festival in Sweden, the vocalist, he was there performing, but the whole band was just there. They did not play the instrument. The instrument, they
Yeah.
were like stuck, and on the only the keyboard player was playing the instrument, and the guy was performing. It was a concept. Well, it's just an idea. So, but what do you think? What's your plan to bring this deep meaning and feeling to the performance?
No, there will definitely be instruments.
Thank God.
Nothing against Pain of Salvation. I think that's a cool concept, but we're a band, and we
Mm,
want the people to see a band playing. I think that is our biggest strength. We have very good chemistry as performers, and everything we do in our performance visually is only to amplify that chemistry. And I think that is a strength that we have this year in regards to other competitors, and we want to use that strength as much as possible and translate our emotions and chemistry to the viewers that way. So I'm not going to go into detail. I want the surprise factor to still be there, but
mm,
there will be, it will be very emotional. It will be intense. As the song is, there will be a big crescendo. It's going to start small, but it's gonna explode by the
fantastic.
end, and there will be fire.
That's good. That's it feels good. I think some of us are relieved. Some of us, but anyway, Luca, I think I do not have any other questions for you. I would like to say that it has been a pleasure to get to know you, and you have been very generous sharing your art, like telling your story with us. And this is I think, as a fan and also someone that interviews people, it's also good to get to know like your background, your connection to music, what music means to you, because sometimes we listen to it, but we do not know the people that are actually behind it. And it's so good to see how you guys produce music, and like how you guys are growing and
Yeah,
developing yourselves and maturing yourselves with music.
yeah, music is definitely something that has inspired a lot of personal growth for us. So thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to somebody about your art. I don't. We did a lot of interviews um, with this around this competition, and I'm thinking to myself, the big artists, the stars that always do the interviews. I'm like, how does this get boring for them? Like, this is so fun. This is so interesting. It's maybe I'm a bit self-centered, but I just love talking to people about art. It doesn't necessarily have to be my art. We can talk about whatever. I love to talk about music, movies, whatever. So I really enjoy this, and thank you for having me here.
And that's why you are a teacher, because teachers are good at that. Teachers like to
Yeah,
talk about this.
yeah,
I,
I
I'm a
guess.
I'm actually a professor at the
Oh,
university.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I get what you mean. Like it's
Yeah.
good to talk about art. I work with movies,
Oh, that's
and
nice, nice. Yeah, we're
and
big movie fans, all of us in Lavina.
oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's a horror movies.
I'm a bit. I watch them. It's not my cup of tea, but
Mm,
I can appreciate a good horror. I
mm,
appreciate a well written movie, as I appreciate a well written song. I can say I don't like this, but this is great.
okay.
I can say that in regards to movies, music, whatever. I can differentiate from those two things.
Because my PhD was in horror movies,
Oh,
and
nice. Yeah, there.
yeah,
That's nice. What's your favorite movie?
Well, that's a tough question because I work with Irish movies, so it's not like something that people a lot of people know. But maybe there's a movie that you should watch called Son.
Let me
Son by
let me write.
Ivan Kavanagh. Son.
Can
It's
you
a
spell that to me?
Son. Son
Son.
by Ivan Kavanagh. It's an Irish movie. It's pretty good. You should watch it. It's
I
set
will.
in US, but it's fantastic movie.
I will. Thank you for the recommendation.
Sure. Thank you, everyone that watched this interview. Let's hope Lavina goes to Eurovision. And this is something, Lavina, that it Lavina Luca, we are not interested here in interviewing everyone. Like our YouTube channel, we just interview the artists that we like, that we want to
Oh,
go to
that's
Eurovision.
nice to hear. Thank you. That's such a privilege. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.